Hello, I'm Ryan Van Dusen. I want to talk to you today about Pathways training. And hopefully this training will help you move forward and be a successful Toastmaster, public speaker, and leader. The first thing I want you to do is to go onto the Toastmasters.org website and find the link that says login. Click there and you'll log in. You log in using your user information, your membership email, and that will then you'll have this, and you click here where it says welcome, and this will take you to your member profile. As you can see here, you have different options when you look at the member profile. One of those is choose a new path. If you've never selected a path before, this is a place where you go to start that journey. And you can see here there's two options. You can either use the Basecamp web model, that's $20 or included in your first membership, or printed materials, which costs a little bit more. And also I want to remind you that not all of the paths are available in printed material. But if you apply and choose a path through Basecamp and online, you can print out PDFs of every project, every step of the way. Next you do your assessment, and you follow all the prompts, and this will help you give you a better understanding of yourself and what you want to work on as a Toastmaster and leader. Again, you go through all the prompts, and finally, Toastmasters website will give you 3 recommended paths that you can follow to start your journey in your leadership development. You don't have to select all of the 3 of those paths or any of those paths. You can select another one. If you see at the bottom where it says additional paths, you can use that to make other selections. And this is where when you click on the bottom screen, you'll see that the other paths that are available that you can select. If you click the read more button, it'll tell you what projects are involved, how it's involved, and what it's going to develop. There are 11 different specialized learning paths in Toastmasters. Originally there was 10, then they added the 11th. And all of these different paths will engage you and help you improve in whatever journey you're trying to take. When you see the 11 paths, Toastmasters International has identified 5 core competencies that you can develop as a Toastmaster. And as you can see from the different paths, there are different core competencies that are focused on developing. For example, leadership development will develop public speaking, interpersonal communication, and management. All of the paths will help you with your confidence. Each path has 5 levels. The first 3 paths are your standard levels. All 3 of these levels will be in every one of your skills and every one of the paths that you take. Level 4 and level 5 is when things start getting unique to that path. Some things to remember is Icebreaker. I approach Icebreaker as when I'm starting a new path, that's my way to introduce my plan and my goal to completing that path. And that's one thing that that can help you move forward and be successful in your path and kind of give you that developmental skill in those areas that you want to improve on or work on. Now that we've selected our path, we want to go to Basecamp. Basecamp is here. Select the club that you are a member of. If you're a member of more than one organization, make sure you're selecting that path. And this takes you to your Basecamp profile. And as you can see, Toastmasters International has done a great job of updating this, making this more user-friendly and easier to navigate. So we're going to go into our curriculum of one of the paths that we selected. In this case, the path is Presentation Mastery. Here's your level 1 for Presentation Mastery, and these are going to look the same. Level 1, 2, and 3 are going to look the same for all of our projects. So presentation mastery, you complete your projects and then you complete your level 1 completion. And until you see view certificate, that level has not been completed. And if it's still pending or been submitted, then work with your club officers to make sure that they are approving that in Base Camp Manager and also in Toastmasters International Awards. There's 2 places that they approve those. When you select your project you're working on, for example, this is the icebreaker. It'll give you some slides and you go through and you progress through and you learn a little bit about how do you prepare for your icebreaker speech or other project speeches. At the end, you have the ability to print your evaluation resource, print your project, and have an online worksheet. So all these are PDFs that you can download and print if you don't like to have everything on your computer, but you always have that available in here. Now you see you have level 2, and there's multiple projects in level 2, and again level 1 and 2 and 3 are basically the same. There's really no electives, you just go through. One thing to remember though is that you do not have to complete your levels, your projects in order. That's what changed that Toastmasters did about a year ago, and that can help you if you're in a situation or you're invited to speak somewhere, and it doesn't necessarily apply to where you are in your levels. You can move forward and complete a speech in a different level. Level 3, and you can see here one of the things you'll see in level 3 is that begins elective projects. There's 13 total electives you can choose from, and you only have to complete 2 of those electives. I'll show you an example here. So these are the different electives that you can do: social speeches, presentation software, connecting with storytelling, and you can activate and look into each one to see what the project parameters are and what the goals are, but you don't have to complete it. You just have to complete 2 of those. If you open it and leave it, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to hurt you in any way. So you want to look at those different things, and then when you complete those 2 projects of the 13, it will move you on and move you forward. Same thing for level 4. You see how you have your primary, key, and managing difficult audience, and then you have 7 different items you can select from to create that, to select your electives. And these are electives, and these can be a deeper challenge and maybe take a little bit more time, such as creating a podcast, building a social media presence, writing a blog, different things that you can use to enhance your projects and your skill set. And finally, your last level, depending on your level, this is for presentation mastery. It could be something different. And so those are your level 5 speeches, where you're going to have a core project, and then you'll have different electives to choose from. For this one, there's 5 options, and you need to choose one. These elective projects in that level 5 are going to be a little more in depth, a little bit more time consuming, such as a leadership project, volunteering an organization. This isn't just going to be a one and done speech. There's a project involved in it to complete that path. Once you complete it, in order to get full credit for your path completion, you need to reflect on your path, and that's a 10 to 12 minute speech that kind of walks everyone through your journey. And then you complete a survey, and that will give you your path completion and award you that path. The next thing we're going to talk about is where to store your evaluations in your documents. As you see here, there's a link for My Documents on your Pathways Basecamp. And this is where you can upload PDF files of your evaluations, your projects, things that you want to keep. And if you're anything like me, you want to keep your stuff as long as you can. I still have stacks of old books that I have in a filing cabinet. And being able to store things this way makes it easier to access for posterity. And this is as long as you stay in Toastmasters, you're going to have access to these documents. Here's some examples from my speech evaluations that I've done in the past. It tells me the date I did it, so I can look back and see what the evaluation comments were, what I needed to do better, what things I did well, to kind of track my progress as I go in my career. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about evaluations, because that's one of the most important things about Toastmasters that we do that other groups don't. We don't just speak, we don't just lead. We listen to others speak and help them to improve their techniques. If there's ever a case where one of the people that you're evaluating, one of the speeches you're evaluating, the speaker doesn't send you a copy of the evaluation ahead of time, you can access through tutorials and resources every speech evaluation form that is in Pathways. And you can look it up and you can get that, and so you can access it and give that evaluation using the forms that Toastmasters want you to use. Here's an example of an evaluation form, and in PDF you can do a fillable PDF, fill out that form, save it as another document, another PDF, and send that to the person that you have evaluated. Next, I'm going to talk about the Pathways Mentor Program. This is really just taking off, and we don't get DTM or club credit for being a mentor, but I think that's a big piece to being a Toastmasters, that we're mentoring others, helping others improve, and leading them along the way. This whole process takes about 6 months. I'm just beginning this journey, and I'm trying to help new members to be engaged and develop the skills that they came to Toastmasters to develop, and I want to be a mentor along the way. After 6 months and you complete the project, you get another badge. You get that mentorship badge that you can talk about and display. When you go into your badges, you can see how many levels you've achieved, when you've achieved them, and it just keeps adding them on to this and adding your levels on. And as you can see, I've done 2 of some of the levels, and completed other levels all the way just one time. And then it tells you when your first path has been completed. That's where the darkened one, the motivational strategies, is, and the shaded ones are ones that I'm currently working on. In order to achieve DTM status, if you're progressing and you're trying to move in that direction, you need to complete all 5 levels of 2 paths, and then you need to be a club sponsor, organize a speechcraft, or lead a youth leadership program, serve as a club mentor or a club coach, and then serve 12 months as a club officer, and then 12 months as a district officer. At the end or during that process, you can do a DTM project, and then you're awarded a DTM. Things as a DTM project could be, you could run a competition, a speech competition. You could develop training and program. You could participate in a training program for leadership, or for officer training, or a monthly training that the district allows. Ask some of the leadership within the district or your area about what opportunities are available and what ideas you have, and I'm sure someone will work with you to be able to complete that and help you along the way in your district project, in your DTM project. Again, you can download this piece of paper, this form, about the different paths to help you kind of understand what competencies are developed, and you can develop your strength along the way. I encourage you to get involved, to help others to understand Pathways a little bit better, and engage yourself and challenge yourself, and you'll be a great success. Thank you.